Well, well, well. That's all I pretty much have to say. Um, we're not gonna really waste a lot of time. We're gonna get right into this. It is crazy. I mean, it was almost, man, I don't even know the word I want to use. That this morning, before day this morning, I waited all those days before I reported and made a video on the Kyren Lacy situation. Released it this morning on my network, on all my pages. And I just so happened to get on the news for my hometown, and they finally released the actual footage. Everything, a lot of lies was told, a lot of narratives was created, and all that got debunked, which we about to get into that. And it's so crazy. I mean, it's not fun. I'm not laughing at nothing dealing with this situation. People lost their life. Nothing funny about that. Rest in peace to all of them. Even Mr. Kyren Lacy. We all make mistakes. Some of us have to pay with mistakes. Some of us had to pay for our mistakes with jail time. Some of us had to pay for our mistakes. Some of us have to pay for our mistakes with our life. In life, people make mistakes. The thing is to not continue to make mistakes. That's the thing in life. To try to live a life with least possible mistakes, the least mistakes as possible. Right? And so all of a sudden they had a narrative that created over the weekend that Kyren was innocent, and a lot of people about to have to make some apologies, or they gonna have to go ahead on and duck their head in their buttholes and hide, or they just gonna try to probably blow over it like no big deal, we was wrong, because that's how people on the woke left side act, because this was where that was coming from. This was coming most people. I seen some people, and I'm disappointed in them. I'm not gonna say no name, but I seen a few conservatives and people who on the right side joining in on this narrative, right? Me, I played the gray area. I sat in the middle because I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was going on the theme. But by me knowing how the law works, I didn't say nothing, because see, when you dealing with a crime, right, especially a crime where somebody lost their life, and not just that, they do that with all. I think they do that with all crimes. But I know for sure, any time of a crime like a negligent homicide, vehicular homicide, manslaughter, second-degree murder, first-degree murder, attempt, like serious capital crime, they go through a thing called a grand jury. And between 60 to 90 days after you get charged with a crime, that charge goes in front of a grand jury. The grand jury looks at all the evidence and they decide whether the charge should be dropped altogether, should the charge be raised, or should the charge be lowered to a lesser charge. So after that happened, after the grand jury, they came back with a verdict of negligent homicide, right? Not vehicular homicide, negligent homicide. I think negligent homicide is lower than vehicular homicide. I think vehicular homicide hold like 10 years. I know for a fact negligent homicide only hold 5 max. You can even get probation for it, 2 to 5, or you can get probation with suspended sentence. So for them to go through that process of this situation, I knew something was wrong. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? But I still didn't say nothing. And I understand that most people, they don't know how the law works. So like I say, over the weekend, the videotape was released to the lawyer, and the lawyer released it, or bits and pieces was released to the public. And so the lawyer, he jumped on it, and he was, my client's innocent. And again, I will say this here. Number one, I watched this lawyer's whole interview. Number one, any lawyer is supposed to say their client is innocent. They're not supposed to say their client not innocent. I mean, what would we, and if they do say that, you say that behind closed doors. You don't go in the public and say that, right? But also, what I learned from this lawyer, he's a white liberal. And one thing about white liberals, if you on my channel and you watch any of my videos on my network, you know that I always say that a white liberal is the scumbag. They the lowest of the low. Reason why I say that is because, see, the black liberal is not dangerous. All they do is run their mouth, scream at the cell phone via TikTok. They may get a little violent. They may punch or but for the most part, they just loud mouth. Now they might get you sued or something, but the black liberal is just a bunch of talk. They all talk. The white liberal is the one who took Charlie Kirk out. The white liberal is the one who tried 2 attempts on Donald Trump's life. The white liberal is the one who tells the black man and the black woman, y'all oppressed. It's our ancestors' fault for what y'all going through. And they'll try to tell a black conservative, you hate your own people. They'll try to get us in line. So the white liberal, I always say, is very dangerous. They the lowest of the low. So his lawyer is a white liberal, and he's making it as if Kyren's a victim of racism in a racist white town, right? So today, the video comes out. The whole video comes out. Come to find out. Matter of fact, don't listen to me. Let's play it. Make sure it's volume up. I want y'all to hear this. See if I can get this video big. I want to try to get it the way y'all can see it. Let's see here.
Don't miss the 15th.
And here you go, my people.
I'm Colonel Robert Hodges, Superintendent of Louisiana State Police. You're about to view a critical incident briefing video that is intended to give the community a better understanding of the incident that occurred. The video is inclusive of evidence related to the incident, which may include 911 calls, body-worn camera footage, and other relevant information. As this comprehensive investigation develops, our understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. The Department's ability to investigate these incidents relies on the impartial and transparent investigations, as well as considering the potential criminal responsibility of those involved.
On Tuesday, December 17, 2024, Louisiana State Police Troop C began investigating a fatal crash that occurred on LA 20 near Perez Lane and Chack Bay, located in Lafourche Parish. This investigative briefing has been prepared to provide clarification of the facts and an accurate depiction of the evidence in the moments leading up to the crash and the subsequent investigation. Due to differences in technology, the timestamps on the business surveillance footage may not align with the actual time data recorded by Louisiana State Police based on recorded radio communications. According to the video timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 52 seconds, a green Dodge Charger is seen traveling south in the opposing lane on LA 20 at a high rate of speed, passing 3 passenger vehicles and 1 loaded 18-wheeler in a designated no-passing zone with a 40-mile-per-hour posted speed limit. As the green Dodge Charger returns to the southbound lane, aggressive braking and engine deceleration are immediately followed by a crash that can be heard on the surveillance footage.
Funny thing is, and I wanted to say this too, but I'm going to say, the lawyer released a statement and saying it was innocent, but the DA, the people who indicted him, never said that. We listened to his lawyer, and over the weekend, you got celebrities, Malik Neighbors, Ryan Clark. He's a virtual singer. That's what he do. He's, all these people coming out as if a judge, a DA, or somebody said, hey, we had it wrong, charges dropped. No one ever said that. His lawyer said that, and these people ran with that because that's what they wanted to run with anyway and blame a white trooper was trying to got this man That's what I be saying about these people. They got this man posted all over social media. This man, I'm sure, have a family, kid, and he didn't do nothing wrong, but with a witness told him. This is what the trooper, because the trooper wasn't there. The trooper went off surveillance, and the trooper went off what a witness told him, and y'all not gonna believe what color the witness was. But I digress. Let's continue. we've all been in this situation before, and I'm gonna read my comments because that way I won't have to really like. But we've all been in this situation before. We've all been in this situation before where we on one of these type of roads or highways, and somebody's going a little slow. They was going slow because the 18-wheeler was in the front, and it's somebody who either in a rush or they have emergency, and they gets out of our lane, goes into the oncoming traffic lane to skip cars and get back in the lane. And what's the first thing we all say? Let's just be honest about it. Black, white, blue, or green. What's the first thing you say when you see something like that? That crazy mother is going to cause a wreck. That's the first thing we say. And he's saying, his lawyer, oh, he wasn't involved in the wreck. Of course he wasn't involved in the wreck, but he caused it. And that's why he got out of that situation to hurry up and ran. And that's why the other situation, because the video I made this morning was coming from another aspect on what was the real reason he killed himself. But now we even know because he was guilty. He knew he was guilty. He knew what he did. He knew what he did. Because just like I say, when we see somebody do the first thing coming out of our mind, or we say it out loud, this crazy mother gonna cause a car accident. And that's what happened, and somebody lost their life and somebody else got their leg broke, all because he trying to get somewhere in a hurry. Like, chill, bro. Like, and if he had an emergency situation, but I don't think he did. He and his Hellcat, and again, like I said in the video earlier, these Hellcat have hairpin pedals. You barely touch them and they zoom. These Hellcats not even for towns like that. Thibodeau is a little bitty country town. If you're not in a city like Atlanta or a real city where you're going to have to constantly be on highways all day, getting a Hellcat is a waste of money. It's just for show. Those cars are built for the highway and those cars are built for racing. These little country towns with all these roads, you can't really go no more than 50 miles an hour. I mean, it's just because the acceleration is just, you barely touch it and you vroom. You know what I'm saying? And so, he in his Hellcat, he in the rush, and he gets out of the southbound lane, and like we always say, he gonna cause an accident. He actually did, and somebody died. He was guilty as two left shoes. But let's continue. Soon as you hear him, if y'all would listen, soon as you hear him, soon as you see him slowing down and getting back into the regular lane like everything is good, you hear the crash.
According to the video timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 54 seconds, a portion of the crash can be seen as it occurs. Moments before the crash, the gold pickup truck abruptly veers out of the northbound lane into a business, while the green Charger is approaching in the same lane. Immediately after the crash occurred, the green Charger was observed on surveillance video and by witnesses traveling through the crash scene and continues north on LA 20, failing to stop. At the same time, all other vehicles remain at the scene to provide assistance.
I tell people all the time, we in 2025 going into 2026. Man, all businesses got cameras all around, gas stations. If you're in the neighborhood, people got ring lights. They got them on poles. Cameras everywhere. Like, you can't lie about stuff like that anymore, especially in those crashes. Not to mention, you got people that's going to tell the truth. And then, you in this small country town, it's not that many people in Thibodeau who got Hellcat. You know what I'm saying? You in a big lime green Hellcat. Like, come on, bro.
The briefing will now transition to the trooper's response and investigation. At 12:00 p.m., a two-vehicle injury crash with road blockage was dispatched to Louisiana State Police Troop C via the 911 dispatch system. The responding trooper arrived on the scene at 12:07 p.m. and was immediately met by numerous witnesses who described a green Charger driving aggressively and causing the crash. The video has been edited for time purposes.
Region 2, be advised, we got total road blockage on LA 20.
If you get a chance, can you advise code of injury?
Civil.
Y'all done demonized the poor trooper. He don't know what's... And I'm not laughing because that's wrong. Y'all owe that man an apology. Y'all done demonized the poor trooper, say he trying to ruin a black man's life, the evil white trooper, and I said that in quotes. when the whole time all he was doing was going off this witness account. Wait till you see what color the witness is. The main witness. Wait till you see what color he is. Gonna blow y'all away.
Did you see a green Charger flying that way? A green Charger that going that way? There was a green Charger. There was a green Charger that caused all that. SRT8, he caused all that. He went to pass the cars way back there, sir.
The green Charger collided with these cars?
He went right into
He went around that truck, okay? He was passing up with her right now, and she had no choice. She hits the road, she gets this.
How are the injuries? What are
She
they?
got a broken ankle,
back injuries and then stuff like that.
So two back injuries, one broken ankle?
Yeah, I'm not exactly. I just told him not to move. You know what I'm saying? Me getting in my car.
You said something about a green Charger. Who told you something about a green Charger?
I'm down 18 women like this, sir.
Okay, so you saw it?
I saw it.
What did you see happen?
He went to pass him. I say when he went to pass him cars back there around around the curve, right?
Okay.
Hey, he come down, right? When he come down, I got Mr. Okay. He had his brother that he was taken to the emergency ward, to the hospital or something like that, chemo or something like that.
Okay.
But I got his number also to verify this, because he was in a car that was in front of her. When that green Charger came, he went and caused this whole big traffic, so everybody went to hitting brakes because the Charger, I thought he hit the gold truck head on. So he jammed on brakes. She was coming down. They was going that way. When I saw...
Which way was the Charger going? The Charger
not Charger going this way.
Going this way.
She was coming this way.
Okay.
They was going this way also. Mr. jammed on brakes. She went to dodge Mr. And that's when she came on.
I was about to gas
hit him, on the left side. She come over and hit him.
Which 18-wheeler were you driving?
The Rebel.
Okay. So the Charger, I guess, passed you up?
The Charger D-line, he was calling behind me because I'm taking my time.
And the Charger passing all these cars in this
everybody.
lane? And so almost hit this one head on?
No, he almost hit it was a gold truck. I got his number right here. That's why I took his number and his name.
Almost hit the gold truck head on.
Yeah, that's his number and phone number and name.
So the gold truck, what the gold truck?
Now this all the evidence that the grand jury get, plus they gonna have to get statements from whoever the guy in the gold truck and everything, and this how they come up with probably some other evidence that we don't know yet, because the prosecution always holds some bullet in the back for when they gotta go to trial. So, but this is the main evidence that they give, but they give all that to the grand jury because they have to, so the grand jury can give something, so the grand jury can make a decision whether the charge can be raised, reduced, or dropped altogether.
Truck, dude.
The gold truck in his area right here.
The gold truck slams on his brakes.
Slams on brakes to stop the Charger. The Charger swerves back in.
Okay.
And cut somebody else off, whoever was behind them.
Okay.
But then they slammed them. They was on. No. The Charger, he swerved in front of them. They slammed on brakes. And by this time, he slips through, right?
Okay.
As he slips through, she's coming. She like to round the back of the gold truck. That's what
she almost hit the back of Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Was Mr. truck hit?
No. He was missed.
Okay. So the truck, Mr. He slammed on it.
The gold truck was right up there.
Right.
Yeah.
He slams on his brakes to avoid the Charger.
Yeah.
This car, what?
Cuts that car off, if I'm not mistaken.
So what does this car do? It just swerves out the way to avoid.
So because I was watching it too.
She turned the wrong way. Instead of going towards the post, she turned this way.
Okay, so she turned this way, and then this car was just coming.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then Charger came around.
This number for
Yeah,
y'all.
Charger passed right
That was in the gold truck.
Okay.
Charger passed in between the
Yeah,
mailbox and
Charger
the car.
stopped.
That's a good because he was using that, but
Okay.
And see what happened, the Charger had stopped.
Is it green Charger?
Yeah. But then when he seen what happened, he almost hit me because he came right here. And kept going.
he was the only one that that jumped out of traffic. Everybody else turned around with the other way. He jumped out of traffic, eased through here, and went on down the road.
Okay. Okay. Look, I know it's hurting right now, but do you think you could just tell me briefly what happened, or do you remember?
I just moved the truck.
Because you in a rush. You got somebody grandfather and father killed, and somebody mom or sister and poor auntie on the ground hurt with a broken ankle. Just foolish.
brakes. The other car was trying to pass the other car.
And we all make mistakes, so I'm gonna give him grace. He's no longer with him, God rest his soul. But I mean, come on, man.
Trying to dodge or not hitting him by coming around.
Okay. Do you remember how fast you were going?
The speed limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
39.
Thank you.
While on scene, the investigating trooper obtained written and recorded statements. The trooper also spoke with additional witnesses via phone and ultimately obtained written statements later in the investigation. After the crash, the passenger in the Kia Sorento died. As part of the continued investigation, the investigating trooper made contact with the driver of the gold truck at a later date to obtain an official written statement based on previous conversations. Troopers also received an additional witness statement describing the erratic driving behavior of the green Charger 10 minutes before the crash. Following the on-scene investigation, troopers identified the green Charger as a vehicle of interest and utilized 21 separate surveillance video cameras to capture the uninterrupted path of the green Charger from the crash scene to its Thibodeau business 11 miles away. Through the use of investigative tools, troopers were able to obtain the license plate number of the green Charger on December 19th, 2024. On December 26, 2024, troopers determined that Kyren Lacy was the driver of the green Charger at the time of the crash.
I don't know what happened. Was that the end of it? I think so.
Left of center. This incident resulted in numerous injuries and loss of life. All involved victims deserve a thorough and complete investigation based on all available factual evidence. The trooper also spoke with additional witnesses via phone and ultimately obtained written statements later in the investigation. Into the southbound lane and impacted a northbound Kia Sorento. To the crash, Lacy was illegally in the opposing lane, passing southbound vehicles. The gold truck traveling north veered right to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger. As the gold truck veered right, the driver of the Kia Cadenza saw the approaching green Charger. In reaction, the Kia Cadenza driver swerved left into the southbound lane and impacted a northbound Kia Sorento. Through the investigation, troopers determined that the driver of the gold truck reacted appropriately to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger, which was approaching at a high rate of speed. In consideration of the high speed of the green Charger compared to the surrounding and opposing vehicles, the reaction time of the involved drivers was greatly diminished. Since the incident occurred, the Louisiana State Police never reported that the green Charger impacted any of the involved vehicles. However, all evidence collected supports the conclusion that Lacy's reckless operation of the green Charger in oncoming traffic triggered the chain of events involving the other drivers, ultimately resulting in the fatal crash. Additionally, troopers determined that less than 10 minutes after the crash occurred, evidence supports that Lacy's first outgoing phone call was to a Baton Rouge area personal injury and defense attorney. After consultation with the Lafourche Parish District...
Did you hear that? Let's go back. I want to make sure y'all heard that. Immediately after the crash, what did Mr. Lacy do? Let's hear that again.
The reaction time of the involved drivers was greatly diminished. Since the incident occurred, the Louisiana State Police never reported that the green Charger impacted any of the involved vehicles. However, all evidence collected supports the conclusion that Lacy's reckless operation of the green Charger in oncoming traffic triggered the chain of events involving the other drivers, ultimately resulting in the fatal crash. Additionally, troopers determined that less than 10 minutes after the crash occurred, evidence supports that Lacy's first outgoing phone call was to a Baton Rouge area personal injury and defense attorney.
Wow.
After consultation with the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office on January 2nd, 2025, an arrest warrant was signed on January 8th, 2025 through the 17th Judicial Court for Kyren Lacy. In coordination with his attorney, Lacy was arrested on January 12th, 2025 at the Lafourche Parish Correctional Center. The driver of the Kia Cadenza was initially issued a citation for following too close, which was later amended to driving left of center. This incident resulted in numerous injuries and loss of life. All involved victims deserve a thorough and complete investigation based on all available factual evidence. Additional investigative reports and videos can be utilized through the Trending Topics link on the GovQA platform.
And there you have it, people. Mr. Kyren Lacy was guilty as two left shoes. But I want to read some comment that I made and some people reacted to me. So let's get into it. We've all been in this situation where someone is just in a hurry or just has no patience and gets into oncoming traffic to skip a few cars. And what that does on a road like he's on is it offsets all the traffic in the lane, because who knows when that person will have to jump back in due to oncoming traffic, right? So it has everyone cautious. And if you're not paying attention or you get too nervous, people got all kind of stuff going on in their mind. A head-on collision can happen, and it would be that person's fault for offsetting traffic in the first place, whether they're involved in the crash or not. Key point there. That's why he immediately called that lawyer in Baton Rouge. Also, the racist white cop trying to frame a black man narrative is also dead, because the officer went off a statement from an eyewitness, which was the 18-wheeler driver, which was a black man, black as the ace of spades, who looked like he was black. Kyren knew what he did. That's why he was on edge, and then this happened. Now, this what you find out if you go Google the situation. This comes up, and this never was mentioned to anybody. 2 days before a scheduled grand jury, remember I was telling y'all about the grand jury? 2 days before a scheduled grand jury hearing related to the December 2024 car crash, Lacy, Mr. Kyren Lacy, got into a verbal argument with a family member, and Lacy fired a gun into the ground before fleeing the scene. A vehicle pursuit with the police occurred, lasting several miles, and ended with Lacy's vehicle crash. Lacy was found dead in his car, appearing to have died by suicide by firearm prior to the crash, as both the body camera and dash cam revealed no shots were fired after the pursuit ended. They talking about no shot fired from police. So what happened was, he knew that once he fired that, he already had hurt his draft stock with this whole situation with this, had to bond out on the $150,000 bond. That was in Louisiana. If he would have went to jail in Texas, which would have been Harris County, I don't know what they would have charged him for, because I'm not really familiar with Texas crime, but I don't know if they would have charged him with brandishing a firearm, or I don't know what they would have charged him with for shooting that gun at those people, even though it shot in the ground or whatever. He would have got charged with something, and he was going to go back to jail, hurt his draft stock even more. He probably wouldn't even got drafted. And not only that, he probably was going to have to sit in jail with no bond this time. And so he couldn't take all that pressure. So I guess he said to himself, man, I'm just about to end this right now, bro. And he shot himself and crashed the car and died. But everybody was saying that he did it because the evil white man framed him, and now he's innocent. The DA never said he was innocent. No judge found him not guilty. None of that. That was his lawyer saying that, because his lawyer is a liberal. His lawyer trying to save face, because of course he's his defense lawyer. And he trying to make it like he didn't cause the crash. Listen, let's get something understood. That's negligent homicide and stuff like that there, manslaughter and all those type of things. That's not so much as what you did, that's what you caused. And like I said, that was my comment though. I just wanted to make that comment. So somebody replied to me. Vernon Guillen, pressure and stress can cause you to make impulsive decisions. Usually people commit suicide, they can't take it anymore. Exactly, that's what he did. And just because a silly black guy was running his mouth to get 5 minutes of fame doesn't mean the cop isn't racist. So the narrative that they really trying to put out here, and of course this woman, she's a black woman, she's woke, And what they does is everything is about race with these people, right? But I digress. And so they trying to steal, somehow try to fit the cop in the races. And now she said he wanted 5 minutes. The 5 minutes of fame for what? He drive an 18-wheeler trying to tell the truth on what happened in Thibodeau, a middle of nowhere, Louisiana. Like, stop it. That man was just being he's a civilian. He's an 18-wheeler driver. And let's be honest, when people do that, it pisses everybody off. Like, even if it just pisses you off when you see somebody get out of your lane and get in another lane to speed up it just pisses people off, no matter who you are. But, so he wasn't pissed off at that. He was in his 18-wheeler, and he was the one who really was causing traffic to be slow because he was hauling some stuff. And as y'all seen, he told the cop he was taking his time. So that he was in the front of it. That's why he was talking, and that's why he seen everything. He had a bird's eye view. Wasn't nothing about no fame. But let's continue to read the comments. I said he was trying to be famous for giving a statement. Oh, yeah. By the way, that's my bad. I forgot every cop is racist. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. She replied again. Didn't say that. What I said, you indicated how can he be racist? A black guy was giving witness statements. Okay, still doesn't mean the cop wasn't racist. That's what that's what the world trying to, like I say, posting this poll, man. I feel sorry for this trooper now. Because, he was all over the social media getting demonized. Don't know how his family was. People got families, bro. You don't know what this man had to go through. He was falsely accused. All he was going off was video surveillance and witness accounts with the same thing the judge gonna go off, the same thing the DA went off, and the same thing the grand jury went off. But I digress. Okay, still doesn't mean the cop wasn't racist. At the end of the day, this is a sad situation, and I pray the truth comes out because our opinion is not going to change anything. God bless you. No, sweetie. The truth is out. We just all seen the truth. It's just not your truth. Your truth was the narrative that he's getting framed because he's a black man. None of this other stuff we even knew about when he brandished a firearm at his family member house. So so we do know the truth. The truth came out. Video don't lie. Men lie, women lie, video don't. So I replied, the narrative that an evil white cop framed a young black man went out the window because we all watched the black man give a statement. That's what the white cop went off. The evil white cop, and I say that in quotes. But because everything is about race with y'all, who cry racism every chance y'all get, you're going to find some way to make this trooper racist. The truth is out. Y'all just don't want to accept it because it goes against y'all narrative. It is what it is. I still haven't got the truth yet, and neither have you. Again, she will not accept it. Most people won't. Like I said, the Ryan Clarks, his friend Malik Neighbor, all of these people that were virtual singing and all these people on YouTube and TikTok and all of the race hustlers that was jumping to conclude that an evil white racist trooper framed a young black boy, none of them is going to come back and say, you know what, we had it wrong. We was wrong. That's not what happened, and it is what they're not going to do that. They're going to either move to the next subject, but a lot of people on the right going to speak on it, and guess what? They're going to get labeled racist. But I digress. Let me finish. I think this is my last comment. If Mr. Lacy was still with us, he would have been convicted based on the video evidence and witness accounts. His lawyer is upset that his cash cow, Mr. Lacy, is no longer here. That's another reason why his lawyer upset. Of course, I'm sure his lawyer, this was going to probably be his lawyer when it comes to getting a contract, negotiating contract. I mean, I know you're going to get an agent, but they still have lawyers. The lawyer seen a cash cow when he seen that dude, right? And that cash cow went out the window. So now he's just trying to save face. Mr. Lacy is no longer with us, his cash cow. So he came up with the rumor that Kyren is innocent and people who act on emotion and always want to be victims, making everything about black versus white, believed it. Now that the video has been released, y'all have egg on y'all faces. A grand jury, a group of people found him guilty to the point that the DA indicted him. I say all that to say this. Your truth, I say all that to say your truth has not nor will come out, but the truth is out. However, you have the right to be wrong. Now they want to play the game. Here's your cookie, but I want to go to this guy's comment because this was a very important comment. And when we in that situation that a car is passing us and others recklessly, I skipped a comment because I didn't get to reply to it. I just noticed it. I'll get to that later. It's not important. It's probably, I see it look like a black woman, so you know what type of time they on for the most part. But anyway, this comment here was the most important comment out of all of them. But like I say, the other lady, she couldn't, so she played you could have a cookie, the cookie, like, here are your cookies, here's your claps and cookies, because she knows she wrong. So that's what, like I always tell people, bro, but I'm gonna leave it alone. These people are like children. That's what they are like. So when they wrong, they either move the goalpost or they do something childish like this instead of saying, you know what, you right, I agree with you all. Just agree not to get. They gotta be childish. Here's your claps and cookies. I don't do this for claps and cookies. I do this to let the truth be told. You know, it might come off sometimes as if I'm a mudslinger. I'm not. I just like to call balls and stripes. But this comment is the most important comment I seen a guy reply to me. He said, and when we in that situation that a car is passing us and others reckless, we all say, that dude's gonna cause a wreck. Don't we all say that? And I finished by saying this. You know what's crazy? You're 1,000% correct. Your comment should be pinned. Because we all know when we're in traffic and we see somebody get out of traffic to skip cars by getting in the oncoming traffic, to skip cars, with the first thing we all say, that dude gonna cause a wreck. And that's what Mr. Kyren Lacy did. Caused a wreck that caused people to lose their life, get hurt, and all kind of other stuff. And that caused him to be on edge because he knew he was gonna go to prison. Or maybe if he might wouldn't even went to prison. He probably gonna get probation. He never been in trouble before. He had money, but he couldn't take it. Then he went and got in his other situation. He was on edge, brandishing a firearm at a family member, and that was just too much for him to take. And he killed himself. So these people won't ever get justice that lost their uncle, their father, their brother, their son. So Mr. Kyren Lacy was guilty, people. And I just presented y'all a case that y'all can't go against. This your boy Vernon checking out. I'm out of here.